Yay, I've been tagged! It's time for Tarantula Tag Q&A.
Hi guys, so I finally got tagged in the Tarantula Tag Q&A. So I am going to start off immediately with the first question, which is how did I get into tarantulas? So this is a really easy question. I'll try and keep it short. So I used to have a 10-foot Burmese python years and years ago, and during that time I used to watch an awful lot of a guy called Brian Barczyk, who is the YouTube channel Snake Bites, and now it's called Animal Bites. He deals with lots of snakes. He's a massive snake breeder over in America. He was my favourite YouTube channel to watch. Anyway, one day while I was watching one of his channels, he did a collab with a girl called Mary. She has a YouTube channel called Super Mary Face, and she was helping him overcome his fear of tarantulas, and that's where I got my first proper look at a tarantula, and it happened to be I believe it was a Brachypelma amelia, and I mean, I remember just falling in love with it. I mean, I was just blown over by how beautiful it was and how confident this girl was while handling it. And because I have sort of experience with other exotics, so I've had a chameleon in the past, I had this big snake, I've had some boas, and I've never been afraid of bugs or spiders. So that's really kind of what piqued my interest, and I just thought, wow, I need to do some research, and I need to learn about these because I just fell in love with tarantulas, and so that's where it started from. So that's question one. Question two is, what was the first tarantula I ever purchased? Now, I was in the hobby years ago, and I did start off with a Carabena versicolor. It was called an Aviculera versicolor when I first purchased one, and this was years ago. Anyway, since I got back into the hobby, the first tarantula that I purchased, there wasn't actually one. I did a multiple purchase, and again I got a Carabena versicolor, and I also got a P. murinus and OBT. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that as a beginner or a first timer. I wouldn't really call myself a beginner. I have owned tarantulas in the past. I do have quite a large knowledge of how to care for these tarantulas. However, was that really a smart first time purchase to get your first tarantula and OBT? Maybe not, but it is a sling and I've had absolutely no problems with it, so I'm quite happy with how that worked out. So yeah, my first purchase was a multiple purchase, and it was a Carabena versicolor and a P. murinus and OBT. And sorry guys if you can hear the noise in the background, that's my baby girl. She just woke up. I'm a mummy, I don't get to be alone most of the time, so you'll have to endure it. But she's really sweet, so yeah. So that's what I got for my first tarantula. So that's question number two. Question number three, what is my favourite species of tarantula? I can't really pick a specific tarantula, but I can tell you which what my preferred sort of group of tarantulas is, and that is the Simopius species. I have so my favourite would be the Simopius aminia. It's like black, and it's got golden sort of toes or legs, whatever you want to call it. Not golden, sorry, orange. I will go ahead and insert a photo so you can see. My second would be my Simopius victori. I have a sling, although as an adult you will understand it is breathtaking and got a super awesome attitude as well. And then third is the Simopius cambridgei or cambridgei, depending on where you're from and how you would like to pronounce it, or you might pronounce that completely different. I'm no expert with pronunciations. So yeah, it's definitely the Simopius species that I am really drawn to. I just find them, I know that pokies are usually, Postlotheria is the more common enjoyed species because of its colour variation. I find the Simopius really underrated, and I think they are, personally think they are stunning, especially with the underrated colours, or the jet black, or the, you know, the sort of real highlighted beige, but then they've got that orange on their toes and legs, or legs, they don't really have toes, but we call them toes in the hobby. So yeah, that is question number three. So question number four is, what is my dream tarantula right now? Now, if anybody who knows me knows that I have quite a large wish list. However, my dream tarantula right now is nothing fancy. It's a C-spec Sumatran tiger tarantula. I will insert a picture. I think they are stunning, and I know that for some people this is not the most, you know, best looking tarantula, but baby, it's it is for me a stunning looking tarantula, and it is definitely on my list. So that is question 4. Question number 5. How many tarantulas do I currently own? So in my collection right now, as of today's date, I have 39 tarantulas. I previously had 49, but I have sold some slings, mainly because I'm trying to focus on more of the species that I'm really into and that I'm really enjoying, rather than having just lots and lots of different tarantulas. I'm sorry, guys. Rather than having lots and lots of tarantulas, I've sort of now decided that I would like to focus mainly on the species that I enjoy the most. And also, I have a lot of slings, and it takes a huge amount of time to care for them. And I actually prefer adults or juvies to slings. They can take a long time to grow and raise. So yeah, I have cut my collection down slightly. It will be growing again come BTS at the end of May. April, May, yes, May. But again, I will only be getting things that I really want. I'm going to try my hardest to avoid just buying something because I've seen it. Impulse buying is not fantastic. We all do it, but ultimately I want to keep my collection at a reasonable size that I can manage, along with children and a family life and lots of other things. So yeah, that's that question done. So it's not a question, it's a statement. It's show me a tarantula. So I am going to insert a short clip right now, and that will be the tarantula that I'm going to show you. So this is the show me part of the tarantula tag, and this is my female Simopius Cambridgei, and as you can see, she is absolutely stunning. Look at those oranges. I'll see if I can get it to focus a bit better. Just bear with me for 2 minutes. There we go. How insanely pretty is she? Insanely pretty. This is one of my favourite species. So yeah, that is my female Simopius Cambridgei, however you want to pronounce it. Question number 7 is feed a tarantula, and I'm gonna once again insert a clip here that The next question is, do I own any other exotic animals? Well, I have children. Some would say that that's rather exotic and a bit crazy because they are hard work. They are like my baby animals. They really are. They are difficult. Other than my children and my tarantulas, I used to have a 10-foot Burmese python. I will drop a picture of him. He unfortunately passed away a long time ago. But yeah, he was my my big boy. I had to rehome him, and then the lady contacted me and he passed away. It was a very long time ago, and I just didn't have the space to fit such a large python, and he was getting bigger and bigger rapidly. But one day I will get back into snakes again. I've also had a few boas. I will also show you a small video clip here of some of the things that I do still have. So I have 4 rainbow millipedes. I have 2 mantids. I have 1 stick insect. I have a few more that are going to be coming this week. Heteropyteria latata, that's my stick insect. And I also have 3 flower beetle grubs that they don't really look like an awful lot right now, but yeah, I also have that. And of course I have my Turkestan roach colony. I don't know if you could class the rest of these things as exotic pets or animals, but that's what I currently have in my collection, and hopefully as as my channel grows and as I you know, I'm going to be moving out soon and hopefully get my own space to keep all my tarantulas, so my own tarantula room or reptile room or whatever I want to call it. Hopefully I will then have some space for some snakes and some other cool things. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. So that's the answer to that question. So the last question is a question directly from the lady who tagged me. I think it's called Lucy's Little Critters. Really, really lovely girl. She's also in the UK, so that's really nice to see. So her question was, is there any species of tarantula that I would not own? Now, this is probably going to come as a bit of a surprise to some people, and I have my reasons for it. The one tarantula that I, at this current moment in time, would not be seeking out to own is the T. celadonia. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure you're all really familiar with this tarantula, tiny, tiny little thing. I have a couple of reasons. One, slings die really, really easily. It doesn't really matter sometimes how well you care for them. Sometimes they just do. They're only small and they can die in transit. They can die in your care. It can happen. And for a 0.5 centimeter sling, I don't really want to lose around £500 on a tiny, tiny sling. I appreciate how beautiful they are, and if you have the money to go and purchase one, oh, be my guest. But you know, they are stunning. But for me, as a young mum and other animals to care for, I just don't have that kind of money. It's not that I couldn't find that kind of money, I just don't want to spend £500 on something that's smaller than a pin dart and that could die in my care or could die on the journey to me. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, it might be beautiful, but you will never see it. They are notorious for, I think you get like a piece of cork bark and they go into the cork bark and they kind of put a flap over it, a bit like a trap door. It's very, very bizarre the way they do it. But yeah, they're hidden away most of the time. And so again, I think for such a beautiful spider, it's always hidden away. And so I don't really see the point in owning something that expensive, that pretty, that I'm never going to see, when I can own something just as pretty or just as colourful that I will see more often. For example, the OBT or the GBB, the green bottle blue, or the cobalt blue, the C. lividus. There are so many other, on Postlotherias, even Postlotherias and Smopiuses. Yes, they can hide, but there are ways that you can arrange their enclosure that you will see them. And yes, and they've all got stunning colour variation. So that's reason number two. And reason number three is that they remain so small. For a tarantula, you think a tarantula, you think bigger spider. This does not get much very big at all. It's, you know, like your common house spider. It's really, I'm looking over there because there is actually a house spider on my wall. That's, yeah. So yeah, they remain really small, and I just don't really see the point when I can get something a lot bigger, just as colourful, for a lot less money. And God forbid you were to get a male. I know that sounds really awful, but we all know that males don't last as long as the females. And so basically you could end up with a short-lived, tiny, colourful sling that's a pet hole. So you'd never see it, and it costs you 500 quid. Or, worse yet, you could buy this £500 tarantula and it will die before it even gets to you. So for me, I'm sorry, but it's the T. celadonia. I have absolutely no interest in owning this tarantula right now. Maybe one day in the future, but for me, it's a no. Now, for my question for the guys that I am tagging. So, my question is, what other exotic animals do you own? Now, I know that this was in the previous question, but my question is followed with, what other exotic animals do you own and can you show them to me? So it doesn't have to be very long. It doesn't have to be a video. Maybe just insert some clips, some pictures, but mainly explain to me why you keep that particular exotic. So it could be a snake, it could be anything else that would be categorized as an exotic animal. If you do not own any other exotics except for tarantulas, then the question is, if you could own any other exotic animal other than tarantulas, what would it be? So I know that this is kind of like a three question, but it's all based under one thing. So if you do own other exotics, please let me know what exotic you own and why you own it, and please show me a nice picture of it. If you do not own anything else other than tarantulas, tell me what exotic you would like to own and why. So the two people that I'm going to be tagging next for the Tarantula Tag Q&A is Winton Knight. I've already explained about him, fantastic little guy, and I'm really curious to hear what his answers will be, because he's so young and so new to the hobby. I would really like to hear a fresh perspective on these questions, and I think he will give some interesting answers, and probably some very different answers to what we are used to. And the next person I'm tagging is Tarantula Guru. His name is Lionel. Go and check out his channel, quite a new channel, really nice guy. I've watched a few of his videos now. So yeah, these are the questions that you guys need to answer, and my question is at the end. So go back in the video, check out all the questions, write them down, answer them for yourself, and then answer my question, and then tag along. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you liked my Tarantula Tag Q&A. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask me personally, I'm more than happy to do my own personal Q&A, but I need a fair amount of questions. So if there are questions that you would like to ask me, drop them in the comments box down below. If I get 10 or more questions, then I will do a separate video and I will answer your question directly. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed.